conduct such as this. This obviously isn't legal to leak information about ongoing criminal investigations to political appointees at the White House, but nonetheless, this is how the Trump family is spending its last weeks.
All that matters to the Trump family is who is working for them, who is serving them, and how it benefits them. It doesn't matter what the rule of law is. It doesn't matter what the norms for a president or his family are. It matters how this is going to impact them, their bottom line, their power, and their ability to control their own power. And so all of these things that we've witnessed over the last 4 years have eroded all norms, all sense of decency, all sense of what's right. And what we are seeing now with the pardons potentially on the table is sort of the culmination of all of that. What is really particularly interesting to me is what we saw yesterday with Ivanka Trump being deposed for 5 hours by the Attorney General in D.C. and her response today, which I believe was, "I sat with the Democrat Attorney General," which really underlines her hardened stance and maybe her pivot to actually being a member of the Republican Party. And she said, this is just another partisan play. But what awaits them, even if there is a potential pardon down the line from her father, is a string of investigations led by people in state offices and local offices. And a pardon can't fix that, and installing people in the Department of Justice can't fix that either. There are people in this country who believe in the rule of law, who exercise their powers to do right, and that is what awaits them once her father leaves office in January.
Emily, let me read to our viewers a little more about that investigation that Ivanka Trump sat for a deposition for, what that's all about, and fill in some of these blanks for me. This goes back to questions of fraud and theft around the inaugural committee, right?
That's exactly right. Now, what is happening is that the inaugural committee, which is a nonprofit, paid the Trump Organization for use of the Trump Hotel in D.C., which happens to be just 5 blocks from the White House. Now, the Attorney General in the District of Columbia has the ability to investigate whether a nonprofit uses its funds as in the intended purpose and whether or not they are spending their funds wastefully. The thing about the Trump era is that there are people like Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, who was Melania's former close friend, who kept a paper trail. She kept logs of her emails, she kept logs of her conversations, she recorded conversations. And there is a paper trail detailing how every member of the Trump family was involved in the inaugural committee, how Ivanka Trump specifically was involved in the pricing of the Trump Hotel, and what the lawsuit filed by the Attorney General in Washington, D.C. said was that for a similar nonprofit that booked the ballroom in the Trump Hotel on the same morning that the inaugural committee booked it, they charged the inaugural committee 35 times what they charged the other nonprofit. If that is not the inaugural committee dealing to the Trump Organization, I don't know what is.
I just got some satisfaction.